Welcome to the Geekhouse. This is my first formal vlog in the new place, and I'm doing this in advance of Frontier supposedly finally getting the broadband working here tomorrow. We'll have to see how that turns out. The backup plan is just go to the library. I've already joined the library, or gotten a library card at least. You know, I really need to stop talking about moving to an actual town like this as if I'm playing some Elder Scrolls game. Oh yeah, I joined the Fighters Guild, the Mages Guild, da 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 da. It's like the Imperial Cult, if you remember Morrowind, you know, that kind of stuff. So, alright, so I was supposed to be hooked up on Thursday, but the customer service rep didn't know the area and didn't know that because this town actually did have some Uverse investment, unlike the hick town that I came from, even though I could technically bring my old DSL equipment out here and hook up, it would be 1.5 megabits tops, which is rubbish in 2015. One thing that hasn't changed is I'm still doing videos after supper and drink of choice. The Aldi fruit punch tastes differently here because the water's a little different, so and it filters differently as well. So I think I like the taste of it here more so than the taste of it back in my old hick town. So either way, supposedly everything should be up and running tomorrow. The backup plan is to become very friendly with the local librarians. So although the problem with the library is that the Wi-Fi is like, okay, here's rinky-dink Wi-Fi. It is 10.1 though, so it's a 10.1 connection through the cable company. So that's actually a better speed than the 6 meg DSL I was working with out in my hick town. So it's kind of funny, you know, something that I'm paying for through municipal taxes most likely is something that I'm probably going to end up paying for it through municipal taxes anyways, but I do have a broadband option by going to the library. So, yeah, I know. Nerd! Here I am talking about getting rid of my remaining books, and I go get a library card for the first time since I was a little kid. I just had to show proof of residency. It didn't even cost any money this time. Of course, being a resident of the town, I will probably pay through municipal taxes. But hey, if I'm paying the taxes, might as well make use of the services if I can find use for them. So, we'll have to see. We'll have to see if it runs better than. We'll have to see if the Wi-Fi runs better than what I end up with here. Although what I end up with here is technically supposed to be faster. But because there was actual Uverse investment in this area, what happened is I could, theoretically, once the dust settles from all of this, pay less for faster internet. So that would be a bonus for a nerd like me who primarily does stuff through broadband. I mean, I don't even mess with pay TV for crying out loud. So, it's, yeah. Looking forward to getting hooked up. Not looking forward to this computer going, there's a bazillion updates! Come back in an hour when it's done downloading. Not looking forward to that whatsoever. But, necessary evil because of, well, the whole move and stuff like that. I was tempted to download the latest Windows updates on the turd Shiba when I visited the library this afternoon, but it was getting close to closing time, and I didn't want to have to shut the computer down in the middle of a download or something, so I'll just get it tomorrow or something. And I gotta finish the crap book. The crap book was having some serious trouble downloading updates at the old place, so I just cut it off mid-download, so hopefully it starts back up again. Well, it probably will. It's just, it'll be like, Windows Update couldn't install updates, click here to fix. You know, the firewall might be getting in the way too. Firewall software I have is a little bit screwy when it comes to some installation, so it's a little too strict sometimes. I suppose I prefer that over the other extreme. But as far as the Geek Suite is concerned, everything that I absolutely want is here. I'm only going back there for the rest of my clothes and the stuff that I have to sift through, and some stuff that my folks might want. For example, I'm not going to need anywhere near as many fans here as I did in the old place, so since my stepmother is a massive fan of those circular metal fans that sit on the floor, I want to see if she wants any of them before I bring them up here and try and find some use for them somehow, and things along those lines. So, actually, there's a lot of stuff that I'm not going to need here anymore because the place is a lot smaller and it's a lot more compact and has a better floor plan and the whole 9 yards. And I'm guessing because of the wooden floors and stuff that it might be easier to cool in the summertime as well, because I'm not upstairs anymore. And we'll have to see how that goes, and whether I actually need anything besides a portable air conditioner firing out the teeny tiny camper-sized bathroom window. So, yeah. There's a few more things to go pick up from the old place, but for the most part, I mean, the Geek Suite could burn down tomorrow, and I wouldn't lose too much at this point. So I hope it doesn't, because I'd like to get the rest of the stuff that I want to get out of there if I sift through the remainder of it. But it's very depressing to go back there for any reason whatsoever, because we're talking 10 plus years of my life here that I'm saying goodbye to, and the place during its prime was a pretty nice place to live. I mean, you had the river going out back, you had the river going out back, upstairs, you're upstairs, top floor. Why are there still big trucks out on the road at this time of night? Someone's backing a big truck somewhere, I don't know. Come on, it's Friday night, let's enjoy it, darn it. There was a ton of traffic when I was coming home, bumper to bumper and everything. Everybody trying to get the heck out of town in order to have some fun tonight. So that's one reason why I kind of blew off. I didn't go, even though I had more than had the option to do so, I didn't go back to the old place for anything today. I figured I took a day off yesterday because of a dentist appointment. So take another night off tonight, take it easy tomorrow, and then go back Sunday for my own private laundromat, so to speak. The only remaining use for that place until I get the washer and dryer yoinked out of there. Not going to keep them. They're both rust buckets from sitting in that horrible basement for the last 10 years. And most importantly, this place has a hookup for a washer, but not a dryer. Probably because gas appliances, lint is combustible. The landlord probably doesn't want a dryer in the kitchen, because that's where the washer hookup is. So what I'm thinking of doing, assuming if this place turns out to be a dud, and I want out of here when the lease is up, I want to make sure that I'm not going to have to go appliance shopping if the next place I have has no hookups. So I'm probably going to go portable washer and dryer, like the stuff that would be in an RV or something. I mean, it is just me, and I would have to do laundry more often, but in smaller amounts. But I'm thinking a portable at this point would probably work well, because I could pair it up with a portable dryer that can run off of 120, and fire the lint filter out the teeny tiny camper-sized bathroom window that this place has. And that would shoot against the fence, and there's a garage to the house on the other side, so it wouldn't bother anybody. Ooh, it might smell like socks out there from time to time, but in case, I've seen people fire portable dryers out windows in apartments and whatnot because they didn't want to mess with a laundromat, and so I didn't even know there were portable appliances like that. Maybe I should invest in a portable dishwasher while I'm at it. Put a little box thing in the kitchen, hook it up to the sink or something like that. They do sell those actually. If you can find a way to feed water to it, it can work. So yeah, but there will be some things changing. For one thing, you might see a content drop off, because one of the reasons why I wanted to move to a place like this is to get more involved in the community. I have seen what decades of being a hermit out in the middle of the woods have done to my dad and my stepmother, and we kind of step on each other's toes nowadays, because I don't mind being around some people here and there, and they do. So they've kind of progressed into the get off my lawn stage of being old enough for Social Security and stuff like that. But they've totally become hermits, and I'm not entirely a hater of being around people. I mean, give me a decent group of people, I don't mind. It's that simple. I tend to lean a little bit towards the introversive side because of my country upbringing and whatnot. But, in college, I didn't have too much trouble with the more social aspect of things, and knowing that this community does have a lot of goody two-shoes stuff going on, like charity stuff to help the poor and things along those lines, there's probably numerous ways that I can get involved in the community and become the kind of person where folks are like, hey, cool, you do this for this group of those less fortunate and whatnot. So I will at some point be saying hello to all the churches around here and seeing what kind of charities they do. Probably get involved with the one that's the most benevolent, as well as I believe the Elks have a chapter around this area that I could join, and they get involved in charities as well. And I already know somebody who's a past exalted ruler at work. So in terms of the recommendation that I join the Fraternal Order of Elks, that is a possibility. But right now I'm taking things one step at a time. For the most part, I'm going to be in bunker mode until I get used to the neighborhood. Until I get used to the neighborhood, get the kind of lay of the land, get used to the increased traffic, stuff like that. And most importantly, get over all the moving expenses. I'm also keeping an eye on the slumlord situation to see if the I don't really want to call him a slumlord anymore, because if he was a slumlord, he would have jacked the rent a little higher. Because there is a legal definition of a slumlord. Slumlords literally are right about the money, all about the money, and this guy, yeah, he didn't take care of the place, but at the same time, he was being very generous with the rent to a lot of the tenants in the area as well. So, but the problem is, he was crossing the line with some of it. I mean, those rickety stairs outside the place, fortunately, none of them collapsed. We were moving the big furniture down them, but yeah, those rickety stairs are still a point of concern. Things were getting borderline unsafe, and quite frankly, the guy can only hold out for so long before having to invest some money in that place. The roof leak in particular, I mean, the roof has been the thorn in the side of that apartment for the last 10 years. And I do have the pictures. I did show you the pictures that I alerted when I first alerted him to the roof leak. And then he emailed when he finally replaced the roof after Irene. I was like, yay, cool. I mean, it was really getting annoying and stuff like that. But I think the guy should just look to sell or raise the rent or something like that. I imagine if he doesn't want to do it to the other tenants that are there, he could probably post repairs and post a new coat, after, I should say, a new coat of paint. He could probably raise the rent significantly in that place, because really, I mean, that's all it really needs is a new coat of paint. I mean, the tan stuff faded to the horrible yellow that you kept seeing, and I had to use white balance tricks to try and filter it out on here. This, by the way, is in full auto mode, so the walls are slightly a little off yellowish because of the daylight lighting that I'm using here. So, but in natural sunlight, it looks more like a bright cottage, with how the walls are here and everything. But I found this place to be a lot brighter and cheerier, and it's a breeze to clean too because of the hardwood floors. I can do a lot of sweeping. The only rugs in the place are throw rugs. I just take the rugs, rattle them on the concrete porch outside, and just bring them back in and vacuum up what's left and sweep while they're out. This is gonna be so easy to keep this place clean. It's crazy. Instead of having to mess with the carpet and the stuff you gotta put on it and then vacuum it up, and then, oh my goodness, just what a hassle. Then I have the throw rugs that I have in case I spilled a drink, didn't want to spill it on the landlord's carpet, wanted to spill it on my own, but the throw rugs have come in handy though, because I found out that on these floors, this chair with its coasters, creaky as it is like it's on an oil slick. The slice little thing will send me all around the room. So in order to actually wheel with a little bit of effort, I don't need a chair mat per se, but this roughs up the floor enough so that I'm not, if I do this, I don't start rolling off to one side and things along those lines. So it's going to be an adjustment. It's going to take some getting used to, and it's definitely going to be an experience, and there's going to be some changes around here. I'm actually also seriously thinking about getting rid of some of my movies and older video games as well. Especially movies. I mean, you're talking movies that I might watch once in a while. You figure they're taking up shelf space. I got to worry about them getting damaged, lost, destroyed, whatever. Why not just get some money back for them and just move on with things? I'm really starting to warm up to cloud services like Steam and GOG as far as games go. And that's probably worth its own discussion as to what to do about legacy CD games at this point. But this whole account-based thing where you sign into an account and boom, there's your stuff, I'm really warming up to the idea. So there definitely will be some changes while I'm here. And if this place turns out to be good enough, I'll stay here for more than a year. As long as the landlord doesn't do like an introductory rate. Okay, your first year you're going to pay a decent blah blah rent, but then it's going to jump up $300 or something. Yeah, we'll have to see if he pulls a stunt like that. And quite frankly, I want to be ready if he does. because I've been really rethinking a lot of the stuff that I'm doing because my folks did it, but the baby boom generation was very different from mine. Supremely different from mine. Home ownership, a big house, and a house that you lived in for all your life was more of a thing with them. It's a liability with my generation when your next hot job could pop up a state or two away and you end up having to move because of that, because you want to make, you want to make some good money and whatnot, and you don't want to have to spend time with a house sitting on the market for X amount of time trying to sell the darn thing. So, oh yes, drink of choice, I have not forgotten about you. I've recorded this vlog a couple of times and I've tried it. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but this is Aldi Fruit Punch. Tastes a little different here because the water's a little different, but I prefer the taste of it here as opposed to back in the old place. So I've really been rethinking the so-called pleasures of simple living and having more account-based access to things like movies, games, things along those lines. And I'm really rethinking the whole physical media thing entirely. So I may end up giving there's a retro video game store in this neighborhood that I actually might give them some decent chunk of business. And if I could, get some value added to some of the stuff that I have, like maybe some custom cases and whatnot, get some more trading value with them and stuff like that. But I would like to get rid of, this is an old Interroyal desk that I've had since childhood. It's a little too heavy. And it actually, ooh, there goes the screens. It's a little on the heavy side. I honestly think I could do okay with a Technimobili computer desk, or something that's like a mixture of boards and pipes that's more easily dismantleable, so to speak. I also think I'm done with formal bookcases. I think I'm going to go with just media shelves from here on out, because they can turn on their side and become shipping containers in a moving truck. So it's a very different experience for my generation versus my dad's generation. And although he thinks that, for reasons of his own, that my interest in this place is going to be short-lived and I won't be staying here very long, I knew what I was getting into when I signed up for this, and things will change for me. Also, to solve my ongoing exercise problem and to not contribute to this town's traffic problem any more than absolutely necessary, I want to try a Razor scooter for adults as well as a bike. Get a bike, this is ground floor, roll it in through the door. Just keep it inside the door and take it out in the morning. Simple. So, not to say I couldn't have done that in the old upstairs apartment. I certainly could have if the bike was light enough, and I certainly could have used the exercise hauling the thing up and down the stairs. But you gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, it's just that simple. Plus, I got a feeling that I could probably get around a little bit better on smaller stuff than with a full-size car. I think the car is kind of going to be like a relic. I think my car is eventually going to be a relic of my old rural life where you needed a car because everything was at least 2 miles away. But not so much where there's actually some services in town. So I'll definitely be checking it out. I'll probably get at least the Razor scooter within the next couple of weeks. For the bike, probably looking at spring, maybe, just to start, fool around with it, maybe even try biking to work. But I don't anticipate continuing to have this 50s influenced car lifestyle. If there were buses around here, I'd take a bus. But unfortunately, the closest thing there is to a bus service around here is they don't operate during the hours that I would go to work and come back and stuff like that. Well, they operate when I'm coming back, but not when I'm going in. So ultimately, this is going to be a change, and it's going to be a learning experience, and things are going to be different. And we'll have to see how the new broadband works once that's up and running. See how close to the top speeds I can get, especially during prime time when people are trying to all run their Netflix at the same time. There's more people here than there were in the old hick town, so I imagine there'll be more issues with that. But at least I can run around in the middle of wintertime without having to wear an orange vest, because don't want to sound like a deer, because you never know and you might get shot. Okay, that's a little bit of a caricature. Most hunters I've known wouldn't do something like that. So, yeah, it'll take some getting used to, but hey, I knew what I was getting into when I signed up for this. And I want more community-type living, and I intend on doing that. I want to be known for someone who does good things for the community around here. So I will at least be saying hello to the churches, and if there's local charities around here, definitely say hello to them as well. Once I get my bearing on things, I would like to be involved in more ways besides messing around in videos on the internet, and there are more options for me to do so. So I hope to do so. Thanks for watching, everybody. Till next time, this is MultimediaJay signing off. Thanks for stopping by.